Hi friends, welcome to Entry app. Myself Nitin. So in the coming days, we are going to study transportation engineering together. Okay? I hope you are eagerly waiting to study this particular subject because we know it's somewhat a student-friendly subject, right? Generally in college, when university exams are coming, we'll study all those design subjects, theoretical subjects. So in between, whenever transportation engineering is coming for the exam, definitely when I was a student also, we were feeling like so much of what we can tell relaxed, when transportation engineering exam is there, because it's somewhat, as I already said, a student friendly subject, right? It's an easy subject, right? So you may be thinking like that, it's very easy compared to other subjects, but you see, if you look at the weightages in the GATE examination, it's not a silly subject, right? So why they are giving that much weightage for a silly, easy subject? Have you ever thought about it? So first of all, how many marks you are expecting from this particular subject? You might be already knowing regarding the weightage and everything. Still I am asking, how many marks you are expecting? Is it only 6 or 8? No, much more than that, right? I hope you already know it. It is a subject which is having more than 10 marks weightage. Only a few subjects are having more than 10 marks weightage, like geotechnical engineering is having, of course engineering mathematics is having, then environmental engineering also may be coming for more than 10 marks. That's it. Then our transportation engineering. Previously it was asked for around, it was being asked for around 8 mark, 9 marks, 7 marks sometimes. But now what happened in 2016, they have introduced 2 extra topics. When we are comparing that with the university exam topics, it's like chapters, but here it is like topics, nothing but our railway and airport. Now you might have studied those topics as elective subjects and all, right, as separate subjects sometimes, railway engineering, airport engineering, like that. But here for us it's not like big chapters, some small topics only they have included in 2016. So now the weightage has been increased. So now they are asking for around 11 marks, 12 marks, sometimes 10 mark, like that. So we can say on an average around 11 mark you can expect from this particular beautiful subject, right? So as I already asked you, why they are giving this much weightage for a simple subject, a silly subject? The reason is simple, it's not actually easy. Maybe for university exams, whatever we are studying from transportation engineering may contain around 80% theoretical, right? And the remaining 20% only may be numericals. But here it's completely opposite. 80% of the things will be numerical, 20% only will be theoretical questions. Also in those 20% theoretical questions, we may require a lot of specifications which actually we are studying under numerical problems. From the numerical problems, they may be asking few specifications and all as a theory question for 1 mark and all. Okay, so it's not a silly subject, it's not an easy subject. We can tell that it's a moderate subject, but there are a lot of tough concepts also in transportation engineering which you might have not completed or not studied in your colleges, like for university exams, because there such tough topics are not actually required, but in the GATE examination we require that. We'll see, we'll make those tough topics simple. That's why I'm standing here, right? So we'll see, we'll study together and we'll make those tough topics also into our in a friendly atmosphere. Okay, so rather than speaking so much, we can just have a look into the content, what we are going to study and all. So in this beautiful subject, I have simply divided the topics which we are going to study into 6 chapters. Don't think that each chapter is very lengthy. The first one, highway development and engineering surveys, we can tell that it's almost eliminated from our recently updated syllabus, right? So the first one, highway development and engineering surveys, it's actually a small kuti topic. Okay, it's only a group of small topics. But why we have separately kept it as a chapter? It's because it's completely different from other chapters, that's why. Okay, we are simply grouping a similar kind of topics as one chapter, that's all. But recently they have removed that hint from the syllabus. So actually speaking, we don't have to study much in this chapter right now. But I will tell you a few points, maybe within just one session we can finish that, because I don't want to simply skip those portions just because they have removed a hint from the syllabus. Because it's like an introduction chapter, maybe they can ask maybe a 1 mark theory question from that particular chapter. We cannot claim that it has been removed from the syllabus, because as I told you, it's an introduction, it's an introductory chapter. Only a few times they have asked a question in the GATE examination, but in various other competitive exams like assistant engineer exams and all, they have asked a lot of questions like MCQ type of questions from that first chapter. So I don't want to skip that chapter simply by thinking that they may not be asking any question. No, just within one session we'll complete the important things that we had to study from this first chapter. Okay, so that we are going to be in a safer side. In case if they are asking, no problem, let them ask, we'll answer. Okay, so without wasting much time we can study those concepts, pakka theoretical concepts. Okay, then our main chapter, highway geometric design. As the name indicates, we are going to study something regarding the geometry of road. You can see here, highway geometric design it is. What do you mean by highway? Our roads, that's it. We have 4 modes of transportation, right? We have highway or roadway, we can call like that. And we have airway, which we are going to study in this 6th chapter. We have railway, of course, railway tracks. Then one more thing, what is that? Waterway. We have boats, we have ships. That is the most economical mode of transportation. That is one question which is regularly coming in small like competitive exams. The most economical mode of transportation will be always waterways. Okay, but waterways we don't have to design anything, so that we have they have not included in our transportation syllabus. What we have to study is regarding the remaining 3 modes of transportation: highway, railway and airway or airport. Something regarding highway we are going to study in detail. Previously, as I already told you, before 2016 we were only having highways in our syllabus, but from 2016 onwards we have these 2 guys also in our syllabus. Okay, but even though I have given the name as airport and railway or railway and airport engineering, we don't have to study the entire railway engineering and entire airport engineering. I will show you whenever we are reaching in this 6th chapter. I will show you exactly what they have given in the syllabus and what they have been asking for these days, these many years in the GATE examination as well as in the engineering service examination. We will study all those topics whichever have been asked in the engineering service examinations, which are possible to ask in the GATE examination as well. Okay, some questions can be asked here also. So such questions I have already collected. We will discuss those things also. Okay. Now, in this particular chapter, highway geometric design, I can tell this is the lengthiest chapter we have. We may be taking most number of hours for this particular chapter only. Also, the weightage of that particular chapter is also high. Every year at least around 3 marks or 2 marks definitely they will be asking from this particular chapter. Okay, more topics are there. Maybe if you are maybe referring some materials or watching some YouTube videos, maybe you may be watching those things. So there you may be seeing different chapters like horizontal curves, cross sectional elements, vertical curves, like that, different chapters. But actually those I have kept it as subtopics under this particular highway geometry design chapter. I will show you after some time. Okay, please wait. Now comes the traffic engineering, the second most important chapter, or we can tell that the second one and this third one, highway geometry design and traffic engineering, are the most important chapters in transportation engineering. This combinedly will be having a weightage of half of the total weightage, okay, in our complete transportation engineering subject. In traffic engineering, as I already told you, there are a lot of tough topics which can appear in the transportation engineering subject in the GATE examination. Most of the times whenever they have asked questions was from this traffic engineering chapter. A lot of tough questions you will see from traffic engineering chapter. We will discuss those things. Luckily, one thing is there, in the recently updated syllabus, they have removed some topics from where tough questions have been asked in the previous years of GATE examinations. So those questions now, we are going into the lucky side. Such tough questions cannot be asked now onwards, because some topics they have completely eliminated. Okay, but I will mention what are those topics, because otherwise when we are referring the previous GATE questions, you may be getting depressed. I don't know how to solve this question. I don't know how to solve that question. Okay, so that time you may be getting confused. So I will tell you what are the questions came from those tough topics. Okay, we will discuss those things, don't worry. Then we have our highway materials, highway pavement design, then as I already told you, railway and airport engineering. Okay, now you can see highway geometric design is there, highway pavement design is there. Both are designs, that too of highway, only the second word changes, right? Here it is geometry design, here it is pavement design. Then what is the difference between the second chapter and fifth chapter? You may be already getting an idea. It is something regarding geometry. What do you mean by geometry? If I am taking an object, it is having some length, it is having some width, it is having some height, and it's having some shape. Geometry. So something regarding geometry of a road we are going to study in the second chapter. Now what do you mean by geometry of a road? We are only seeing the width and the length may be kilometers. Then what we are actually designing? It's nothing but how much width we require for the road, how much slope we require for the road, that too longitudinally and transverse direction also. Maybe whenever we have a curve, how much angle we have to give or how much radius we have to give for that turning. Whenever we are going upward on a hilly area, how much gradient we have to give on that road, and whether that gradient will affect our vehicle. If yes, then what to do? All these things we are going to study under highway geometry design. One of the beautiful chapter we can, but as I already told you, it's a little bit lengthier chapter, but easily we can study that chapter. Somewhat student friendly chapter, like that I can say. Okay, so these chapters, 6 chapters I can tell, as first chapter is almost eliminated, but just in one session we will see that first chapter also. So these 6 chapters are going to give you around 11 to 12 marks. So if you are properly attending the classes, I am giving you guarantee around 90% of marks you are going to get. Okay, that's my promise. The remaining 10%, it's completely up to you. If you are practicing regularly, if you are practicing or if you are revising the content regularly, if you are remembering the equations properly, then the remaining 10% of marks, easily you can get it. The thing is, in transportation engineering, there are a lot of equations to by heart. Lots of equations. I can tell frankly, lots of equations to by heart. It's not that much easy to by heart all those equations, because we are not robots, no? We are not engineers and all to by heart all these equations and to reproduce in that 3 hours of examination. We have a lot of subjects to study, sir. Geotechnical engineering is there, open channel flow is there, fluid mechanics is there, environmental engineering is there, mathematics is there. How many subjects we are going to study? Surveying is there. How many equations we are going to by heart, right? So it's not that much easy to by heart all these equations and to reproduce in that 3 hours of examination in sitting in the examination hall. I know that. Definitely it's not easy. So that is your task. That is your task. If you are, if you are trying to revise on a regular basis, don't postpone it. Do it now itself. Start making a short notebook and all. Whenever we are studying, whenever you are watching each sessions, just to make a short notebook, what all things we have studied, what are the important equations we have studied, what are the mistakes that we may be making in the examination hall. I will tell you how to make it when we are going to when we are starting our classes, which all things you have to include in your short notebook. Everything we will discuss. So that you have to make when you are preparing itself, so that at the end of the class, if you are taking your short notebook and simply turning the pages, it may be only a few pages only, the entire transportation engineering will automatically come to your mind. Okay, your brain will easily capture all those equations, concepts, special cases, everything that we have studied. Okay, so trust me, if you are properly watching from starting to ending of all the sessions, I am giving you guarantee. If they are asking around 12 marks, around 10 marks I am giving you now itself. Okay, that's my promise. Remaining, it's in your hand. It's a easily scoring subject, easily you can study. Okay, so that's it. In the coming session, we will be going into the content. We will start with the first chapter, as I already told you. In a few time, we will just discuss some of the important topics from that first chapter. Then we will continue with our main chapters. Okay, so thank you so much. Thanks for watching. We will meet in the next session.